Hey guys, so today I am bringing you guys this foundation routine. This is my acne coverage foundation routine for the winter time, and it's very glowy and dewy and fresh looking, and it's very hydrating, using like all dewy products, and it's just really pretty, and smoothing and everything. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Please subscribe before you leave, and let's just get started. Okay, so I am just going to start off by priming my face. I'm not doing any eyeshadow today, so I'm not doing eyes first or anything like that. And I'm just going to use the Acne Fighting Putty Primer. This is my favorite primer ever. Like, it fights, it helps with your acne while the makeup is sitting on your face. So it adds like a base on top, underneath of your, like, all the makeup to help it not be so, like, I don't know, to help the acne with it being under all that makeup. And also it's super smoothing, and it has, I find that it has kind of like a glowy dewy finish on its own, so it's really gorgeous. So I do take a good amount of this stuff because I love it, because I just put it everywhere, because I obviously have acne everywhere, and that's like the biggest thing about this primer, and it smooths out your skin so nicely. So yeah, I just put it everywhere pretty much, and then I just rub it into the skin all over. This has been my favorite primer ever since I bought it. I haven't put it down. I've been using it ever since because it just makes my makeup look so nice and smooth, and it also gives a nice healthy dewy finish to the skin, so I really love it. Put a little bit more on the forehead. Forehead is like my worst acne, where like my worst acne is right now. I also get it really bad on like the sides here. It's not so bad right now, but there is still some, and lots of scars. And it's a pretty new thing for me because I never used to get anything right here. This was clear. It was acne here and up here and like right here. So I don't know. Now I've got it over here too, which sucks. But yeah, this is like the worst spot right now is my forehead. But I have such bad like dry skin too, and it just gets so like dry and cakey and like with my makeup, so this really helps it not to get super cakey or anything, and to help it, and I use this routine to help it not look so dry, and help it not be so dry, because I'm using a lot more hydrating products. They're actually good for my skin. So then I'm going to use the Milani Bright Side Illuminating Primer, and I really like this one as well. Gives a gorgeous glow to my face. So I just dot that on and blend it in to the skin. And these two primers together are gorgeous and amazing because they're both glowy, and well, this one's more glowy than the e.l.f. one, but I don't know, they just go together so well. Like, this one just amps up the glow even more, and I love it. It's like my most glowy primer ever, and I love using it with the e.l.f. one. And like, look at how gorgeous and dewy the skin looks. So now I'm going to use foundation. And I'm going to use this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow foundation. I really love this one. It's also super hydrating and glowy. Think about that much. I don't know, it's just a squeezy tube. And dot it on the face. I like to dot it on and then go in and blend it. And I'm going to use, squishing out all the extra water, I'm just going to use the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge to blend all that out. It's my favorite way to blend in foundation. Because it also gives you an extra dewy finish and gives you gives your skin extra hydration. So I really love this sponge. I haven't stopped using it since I bought it. It's really good. So I'm just patting that end of my skin onto all my spots. And it's not like the best coverage, but I go over with concealer, and you can always add more and build it up. But I just love the finish that it gives and how dewy and glowy it is. And for concealer, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I love this concealer. It's my favorite. This is another staple of mine that I haven't stopped using ever since I got it, because it's just so hydrating and just amazing. I'm just going to put it on all of my acne spots. And under my eyes and down my nose to like highlight a little bit. And just add more coverage there as well. And then I just let that sit on my acne spots for a little while I blend out the, like, down my nose and my under eyes, because it just adds extra coverage when you leave it to sit for a little while. So I always do that with my acne spots. And this concealer is also super glowy and gorgeous. I love it. And then when I'm blending out the acne spots, I just pounce it over the same spot for a while. I don't blend it outwards and move it all around, because then I'm just picking up the concealer and moving it all around. I don't want to do that. I want it to be in the one spot that I put it. So there is the skin. It looks really gorgeous, super glowy and full coverage. I'm going to do some cream contour. I'm using the e.l.f. cream contour palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here just to add some contour. And I just use it down my nose and on my cheeks, obviously, where you would contour, and blend it in with the sponge. And look at how easily it blends out. I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty, what is this, like a cream blush, I think? It's the Soft Pinch blush from the Soft Pinch Blush Trio, and this one is in the color Bliss. And I'm just going to put that on the cheeks and on my nose too, to help give that like rosy flushed look on the nose for winter. Set all of the creams and the liquids and everything. I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me loose finishing powder, as I always do. This is my favorite powder ever. I've tried a lot of other ones and none of them are as great as this one. So I just blend out my under eye creases and take it with my sponge. Press down the powder on my under eye, and it leaves such a beautiful smooth finish, like airbrushed finish. My favorite way, I went country for a second, I always do that. This is my favorite way to apply powder. So I'm basically almost setting my entire face like this. After I do the regular T-zone area, I also just like to go in to set anywhere that has acne spots, like right here right now. Going with this giant e.l.f. Powder brush. I just take some of the powder on the brush and set like the outer perimeter of my face a little bit better, because it doesn't always get very perfectly set. But I set down anywhere that has acne first to help it keep the like coverage that it had, so it doesn't lose the coverage when I go in with this big brush to set it. But even with this brush, I pat it into the skin. This is one thing that's newer that I've been doing, and I can't stop doing this now because it just helps so much with how my foundation looks. I use this teeny tiny little e.l.f. blending brush, and I use the Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear foundation in a powder, and it's super full coverage, and I just go over any spots where I see that are still kind of poking through, which is pretty much all of them. I pretty much go over every spot. Well, at least like the mostly the bigger ones, and I just pack the powder on top of the spots to help add more coverage. Since this is literally like a foundation and a powder, and ever since I started doing this I can't stop because it just helps conceal the spots way better. And then I also take it and I do the sides of my nose because I can't really get in there. As you can see, it's like unset. I can't really get in there with my sponge very easily, so I go in with a little brush like this and this powder just to help set it. And this powder is also super smoothing as well. And yeah, I just love it. And then I go in with my powder brush again and I literally just pat over it just to help make sure that everything blends nicely, because this powder is a little bit darker than my skin tone. It's the lightest shade, but it's a little bit darker than like per se like my Maybelline powder. So that also helps like bring contrast to the face, so that way these spots don't look so prominent. So that is the finished foundation pretty much. Now we're gonna move on to the cheeks and then we'll be done. So I'm gonna use the the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade Sun-Kissed, and my Morphe JH02 brush, which I have been using for forever now, and I just take that in there a little bit and I just apply that on top of the light cream contour we applied earlier to help add a little bit more of a dewy glow to the face again, now that we've set it matte with kind of matte with powder. I mean, it still has a sheen to it, but to help add some more sheen to it, I'm gonna use the highlighter, the Milani Highlighter Duo in Double Shot. It's a cream and a powder in one, and I'm just gonna open it up. And it's way too dark as a highlighter for me, so I use it as bronzer. So I just take my brush and just dab it in there and like kind of tap off the brush to make sure there's not too much of it, and pat that on top. Whoa, that was a lot. Probably gonna have to go in and blend that now, but it just helps give it more of like a baked bronzer look by mixing it with the matte bronzer. Go in with this Essence blush in Beloved. Well, it's called the blush actually in Beloved, and then I'm using the Morphe JH04 brush and just applying that over top of the cream blush. Put some on my nose to give it that rosy look. Go in with a another mixture for the highlighter. I'm gonna use the Milani, another Milani Highlighter Duo. I just stuck my finger in this. Shoot. In the shade Spark Plug, and I'm going to use my sponge and take some of the cream highlighter right here and press that down on the high points of my face, just like that, and it looks super pretty. And it's not like super dewy, it's pretty subtle, but it helps just make it look more like your face is naturally glowy. And then I'm going to go in with this Makeup Revolution highlighting quad, and I'm using this white shade right here. And I'm going to use the Ducare highlighting brush from Amazon. And I literally just take the tiniest bit. I'm focusing this on the spots I really want to highlight a lot, like right here. I'm not bringing it down on the cheeks like I did with the other highlighter, because the other one was more subtle, and I want to give kind of like a lifted effect with my cheek products, so I always like lift it upwards. I'm going to go in with my finger and just put it on my upper lip right here to help keep my kind of like my contoured effect to my nose. I use this Dollar Tree, it's called an eyeshadow brush, but it's like, I guess it kind of is an eyeshadow brush, but it's super soft, and I love it for going straight down my nose with the highlighter I'm using that day. So I'm just taking that and going straight down the nose, just like that. And then I'm just kind of patting that out and blending it in so it doesn't look too harsh. So then I'm going to take my NYX Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh setting spray. Multitasking spray is what it says. And I love this. Like, it has little, I can't really tell if it has little shimmers in it, but it just gives the skin such, it still gives the skin such a gluey. You do not want your face to look like glue. A dewy finish, like glowy finish, and also just melts all the powders into the skin, and I can't go without this. Like, it helps with all of the powders and how dry my face is. Like, it doesn't feel super dry right now at all, but I still just love this to help keep it looking very refreshed and gorgeous and just throughout the day. And it also helps prolong my makeup as well. So I'm just going to spray this on my face. And that is it after being sprayed. And if you look up really close, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but like in person it just melted all the powders together and just made it look even better than it already did. So I love this, and I never skip it because it also really just helps my skin not get super dry. I don't know exactly what's in this, but I love it. It's so good. Like, it's so hydrating. That is my whole entire foundation routine done. So I'm going to go and do the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'll be right back to show you guys the finished product. Okay, so this is the completed foundation routine with my entire face done. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!